addresses the issues of tipping fees. Now,
Here's the situation.
when that back, just let me explain, when that back gets halfway, you know that's a certain amount of weight. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's
It's
correct.
kind of like weighing pennies to make $1.
That's exactly right.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to understand. So if you leave this town and the truck's half full, you'll know it's X amount of pounds. And who's responsible for writing that down when it leaves Colwyn Borough? Like, do you have somebody, like the truck driver or anybody else that's responsible for?
You said Fred, there's a gauge on there, Fred.
Correct.
There's a gauge on the truck that can do that.
Truck driver take care of it.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
That's his job.
Or is that what they just started to do? Because before, the way,
There's certain drivers,
they say they weigh the truck,
they do weigh the truck.
and then they distribute how much from
Based on
which,
the positioning of the blade, that's exactly right.
All right, so how do we know that we're not getting overcharged because of the position of the blade? Because if you pick us up first, and you pick up two
Actually, I
other...
can make the argument that you're doing better than most boroughs because most boroughs recycle. And their volume per household is a lot less than the average of what Colwyn would be non-recycling.
Well,
So
we
there
were
could be potential
recycling.
could swing.
I understand what you're saying, but even with the, my question was,
Yeah.
what you're explaining to me is not what they explain to us. When that truck goes in, your blade might be positioned in one area, but if you've picked up us first,
Yeah, really.
your blade is positioned at a different angle because you picked up more trash. Do your blades stay
All
where
right.
they
You're not
are?
understanding, man. The blade when the truck is empty is in a stationary position for the
Right,
truck.
right.
So when, say we, for instance, we pick up Colwyn, and the blade is a third back, we know by the position of the blade exactly what the volume is for Colwyn going to the Delaware County Solid Waste Disposal Center.
And they take your word on what we have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. All right, any other questions? All right, let's move on to public safety.
Can we discuss this?
You've got 10 minutes left
You got
before the
10
council
minutes
meeting
before I
starts.
got another
You're
council.
dragging it on.
It's dragging on, yeah.
You got another guest in the
Go
audience.
ahead, Massa.
all one night, it's not ours.
Go ahead, Massa.
People don't drag things on like you
Is the
do.
recycle gonna be a different day or the same day?
It'll be
Is
on
there-
Different
Yeah,
day.
it's gonna be on a different day, Massa, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I see is that there's gonna be less trash in people's houses, people
Yeah.
might get involved a little bit more, and if we save the 30%, can you get it to 30%?
No, the county average is 21%, and the target is a reasonable one. Colwyn averages $10,000, I'm sorry, $100,000 a year in disposal. Actually, it's around $97,000 a year.
It had dropped some years ago.
Listen, I'm a big recycler. I'm down there 2 or 3 times a week, and I live it, and I don't even have any kids. And it keeps my trash flow
You
down.
have the potential savings.
All right, let's go. Come on, move on. Jesse, public safety.
Wait, the meeting wasn't done.
He's not,
Money
well,
off
Who-
of this recycling.
You make money by the diversion value.
Yeah, you know it's not-
So all of our recycling just goes into one big bag or whatever and put it out?
one container,
Single stream.
single stream,
And the
they call it,
the
right?
processing is tipping fees, right, sir?
Yes.
Single stream, they call it.
That means on Tuesday night, all our can collectors are gonna come take all the
Yep, all the
cans
junk
out.
collectors will be out on Tuesday night. Yeah, there you go.
I don't think that's the case. It's not an issue in Chester or any other.
No, you know what happens, the cans are recycled by the family.
There you
It's
go.
valuable. That's what we do.
All right.
Are we talking newspapers, plastic, glass, and?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, everything,
So then
Martha,
whatever we
everything.
have down at the field will be gone then?
That's
It's
correct.
everything here, it's all in there, yeah.
The
Well-
little bit of tiny money that we made off the newspapers will be gone.
We're hardly making any money off of the newspapers now, but there's a new company and Suburban Waste just bought the,
Yeah.
Are you the
Those
paper
containers from the
retriever?
newspaper, Suburban's
Right.
actually,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
Right.
bought that, so we're actually active in recycling Colwyn
Right.
as we speak.
But as
Yeah.
the paper from the recycle down there, that
Papers.
money does come back to Colwyn.
To Colwyn?
Right,
And it's gonna
from
come-
down there.
It's
Right,
gonna
Fred?
come back to Colwyn and tipping fees, which is
Can
probably
I
more.
say, can I say something before we close?
ahead.
Real quick, Jeanette, come on.
If we're moving forward, we're going to the state to ask for the stressed community. I think what he is saying is great, but do we want, at this point, not knowing where we're standing, to give a 3-year contract right now?
Here's the issue. I can answer that.
No, I was talking.
Let me answer.
I can answer that.
That's
Go ahead.
I can tell you exactly your answer. Fred actually answered it for you early on. He was talking about the highway department, and he was talking about the investment of time. That the ultimate goal is to develop efficiency within Colwyn Borough, and it took Fred a year. And it took Fred a year because things don't change like a battleship changing course. It doesn't change right away. It takes repetition. It takes outreach. It takes patience.
And I
Especially with
understand.
recycling. If you start a 9-month recycling contract, you're going to start at square one with another collector, and it's going to be confusing with the residents. If you're serious about a recycling program, and you're serious about having a diversionary program, a 3-year deal, whether who you pick is the most responsible selection, because one, you had a 3-year bond that required us to address a 3-year bond. The solicitor is
Why is everybody, why are we over here by ourselves? Why did the engineer can't sit down here with us?
Should start at 6 o'clock instead of maybe 5:30 next month.
There's one more issue, and that is what
Why?
we do with recycling. We have a chain of custody that
conflicting,
no
the
other
two
company
meetings.
has. We have an exclusive contract with Single Stream Recycling Consumer that's the largest in the state. Actually, the largest in the United States, called Recommunity. It's an exclusive contract that guarantees that you'll never pay for recycling. Don't think any other participant would have that. And that's why we were able to give you such a good deal for 3
Have
years.
you ever heard of Recycle Bank?
I invented it.
You invented it. So did
You're
you
looking
ever,
at the inventor of Recycle Bank. I invented Recycle Bank.
and is it still with
Ron Goman, that's correct. It's a
So why-
national company. That is an incentive-based recycling program using IFRD technology and the toters.
Can we have it here?
I don't think Colwyn is quite there yet.
Okay.
Again, I just wanted to say, if we're going to the state to ask for Act
We're there
41.
already.
Well, I know we're already there. I called in December, so I know we were already there. Before we start giving out 3-year contracts, we haven't even gotten our Act 41 yet. So we don't know, that's not a
47.
sure thing. We gotta go to court to ask to be recognized. If we take a 9-month and rebid it out, he can come back with that same deal? 9 months, I'm still talking, Cole. I'm just trying to figure out, if we just said that Mayor Blue said, we can't touch the people, we can't touch the workers, we already shorthanded, but we gotta find some way to save money. But we're getting ready to give out a $200 and some thousand contract.
Okay.
And we haven't gotten our finances together. We don't even know where we are right now with our finances.
We do.
So what I'm saying is, if we're gonna rebid it out in 9 months, rebid it out in 9 months. But give us some time to look and see. Y'all just, you two,
Go ahead.
you three have just said, we're gonna look at the bank accounts. We just said,
We are.
the president of the council just said, okay, we can have a special meeting just for finance, so all the bills and all of the finances to come to the table. I'm with Mr. Blue on
Go ahead,
on Mayor
Jeanette. All
Blue.
right, come on.
7:24.
Can I
She's gonna
finish?
drag it on.
Can
Come
I
on.
finish?
Go ahead.
Can I
Jeanette,
finish?
we don't have time.
Can
Come
I
on.
finish?
Let her finish.
Can I finish?
Time, this is government.
This is government. Nobody has time on the committee meeting.
Okay.
You disrupt the meetings.
Okay.
I do
Paul,
not.
All right.
let's finish up.
Let her
Can
finish.
I finish? Let's put the brakes on everything. That's what we voted for. We voted that we were freezing everything until we find
So,
out.
the bid spec should have been for a single-year bonding, and it was not, and it misled the participants.
But-
May I have the floor, please?
Go ahead, Paul.
May I have the floor?
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
finished. I'm not
She's gonna
finished.
drag it
Hurry
on.
up! Damn it! God damn it!
Paul,
Damn it! I want to adjourn this for that. You take over. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm done. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done.
Oh my God.
I'm done.
This is ridiculous.
Y'all not writing a report? Excuse me.
This is ridiculous.
He went to
You do this every time. Every time you do this. We've got business to take care of. How about this? We've got business to take care of, and you're stalling.
I was
Here,
asking a
hold Paul
legitimate
accountable for what he
question.
just did. Oh, he will be. I will be.
Asking a legitimate question.
You're dragging it on, Tonette. You do it every month, and we don't get the business done.
Paula, I'm asking.
You are saying that our finances aren't secure. They are.
I'm on the same page as you.
We know where we are. We can afford a 3-year contract.
Where we are. You
We
know
do.
where we are.
$1.5 million you spent. You spent. That don't happen no more. Second year in a row, we haven't used a taxi anticipation loan. Second year, because we don't need it. We just have to pay off your bills. That's our problem.
Are you serious?
All right, Master.
She is vice president, Massey is vice president. You're not disrespectful. You talking about Paula, that's right. But Massey is vice president.
Okay, get up here and talk, sir.
Tonette, sit down. Sit down. She knows what she's doing. Sit down. Sit down, Tonette. Leave her alone. Jesse! Jess! Okay. All right, so it is 11:28. Jesse's talking to Sheila. She's the president of They're doing Citizens Police Academy. So, as soon as Jesse comes back. Just call Jesse, tell him it's time. Public safety meeting.
I have a question, why wasn't the other companies told
Can I
that
say
they
something?
up 3-year
Excuse
contracts
me.
in their bid?
The guy was just here. If he wants the opportunity to speak, he can have an opportunity to speak.
They can bid.
They could have
They
bid for
bid for 9 years.
Then why was he giving me the impression that they had to bid for 9?
He's here right now. What's the big deal?
If you want to bid for the 3 years, you need it to bond. So if you look at, who's the other one?
JP Mascaro.
Creative Waste B&L, they only bid for 1 year. I don't know whether they couldn't qualify for a bond
9
or
months.
chose not to. So they bid for nothing else.
A lot of the people didn't bid, and he's from B&L. Are you from B&L?
Yeah, he can speak.
Can you ask us, give us the reason why you only bid it for 1 year?
Because of the tour medal that Colwyn is in, I figured I'd give it a break and bid it to 1 year. So you can get your everything together and figure out what's gonna happen for the next and the second year. That's why I did it.
But wasn't when it went out, wasn't it for 3 years?
No.
You wanted 2 or 3 years,
It went out for all 3, 1, 2, and 3.
okay?
Can we have a recess? Can we have a recess?
We have public safety, we have to go in. You have to go into public safety, you gotta finish the meeting.
Can we recess?
You're trying to stall, Tonette, stop.
I just want to recess.
You have a you have an agenda.
Just hit a 10-minute recess.
After the meeting, you still have public safety, you have a guest in the audience. You have a guest in the audience.
You gotta calm down. Somebody says
Wait, you know what, buddy? Listen,
let him talk, Paul.
what's it about?
I know, man. What a good
I'll tell you
job.
something. You got the The old way, we used to have 2 meetings a month. Now we're putting it into one, right? It's all condensed into one.
Yeah, I know.
Right? I've been on council 18 years, and it was never like this. It was always 2
I'm not
meetings a
leaving.
month. I didn't vote on it.
You did. Paul.
I'll have 3 meetings.
Paul.
Y'all voted on it. One meeting.
I'll have 2 meetings.
We did it because of the disruption. It's too much disruption every month. You need it once a month, that's it.
Okay, and
Jesse goes and you've got Sheila Carter in the
attorney here,
audience.
so you don't need to bring your helmet if we have a separate meeting.
Yeah, need to.
Yeah, go ahead now.
All right, now what are we in? The public safety? Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Paul.
Go ahead.
What about your apology to all of us?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
You know, you don't have to use that language.
Sorry,
to
guys.
display that violence.
All right,
Paul.
okay.
It's not necessary.
Okay, Jesse for public.
Go ahead, Jesse. Public safety, Mr. Brunich.
All right, since my report consists of
Yes.
information about the Colwyn participation in the NAACP Police Cadet Program, I'd like to have Ms. Sheila Carter come up to the podium and just talk about the program. She was kind enough to attend the meeting tonight. She's second vice president of Pennsylvania NAACP and the president of the Derby chapter NAACP.
Good evening, Sheila.
Good evening, everyone. I would just like to say, I don't know how much you know about the program that's been put in place, but the NAACP back in January had decided that we wanted to reach out to the communities that our branch serves to strengthen police and community relations. And one of the goals of this program was to help us in the event we had any type of issues as similar to Ferguson. Everybody knows what happened in Ferguson without me going into details. So what I had reached out to the local police departments. We started meeting in January. What we came up with was we need to reach out to the youth first. If we can reach out to the youth, engage them, have them interact with our police departments so that they can learn the duties of a police officer, that we most likely can save our youth. Because people just naturally assume that our youth, when they're out there, and they don't necessarily